सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
Hi there, good evening. It's me and Niranjan filling in for Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami tonight. Welcome back to the debate, friends. It is not for nothing that the JNU in Delhi is known as a left bastion. Last night we saw a repeat of slogans on the varsity's campus that exemplify and underscore that description. To be anti-capitalist is one thing, but to support the likes of Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam is another. To cut your teeth into politics as young blood is one thing, absolutely legit. But to hold the topmost score of the country in contempt is another. Absolutely not allowed or should not be allowed. To champion liberty as an ideal is one thing, but to bat for anti-nationals is another. The former in each example is what grooms the next generation for leadership of the country and society. The latter in each is what scripts a disaster for the nation. Tonight, I am wondering aloud, like I'm sure you must be too, about what's with JNU campus and its struck with this ideology, which fancies itself as anti-state, but does not mind being anti-national. Remember, marking anniversaries for Afzal Guru is anti-national. Marking days for Maqbool Bhatt is anti-national. Calling for Tukde Tukde or Bharat is anti-national. We need to look at it with some concern. It for sure seems more than a case of rush of young blood. Niranjan.
Well, it takes me back to 2016, 10 years after Umar Khalid and Kanhaiya Kumar Abhishek. The questions refuse to go away because has anything really changed inside the JNU is what this next report shows us. How are death threats to the Prime Minister, Home Minister, corporates being raised inside a taxpayer-funded university? And who's emboldening this sloganeering? Students acting alone, or are they organized political backers operating on the JNU campus? Now, the same Tukde gang networks from 2016 are alive, they are protected, thriving in 2026 it appears. And most importantly, why is there no FIR? There is no FIR as we speak tonight. Remember 2016, I still remember seeing the videos when it came in, slogans that justify terror and terrorists, faces that later appeared in charge sheets, investigations until last night. And fast forward to today and the pattern looks disturbingly familiar. Same campus, same slogans, same ideological push, different decade, but no change. Is JNU once again becoming a safe haven for anti-national sloganeering? An activity, here's what happened.
10 years ago, India watched as the Tukde Tukde gang took over the JNU campus. Slogans raised at the university did not stay slogans for long.
आसाम को काटना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। असम और इंडिया कट के अलग हो जाए आज के लिए, और जितने भी जो भी यहाँ से सप्लाई जा रहा है बंद करो, और वो बंद कर सकते हैं क्योंकि चिकन नेक्स्ट मुसलमानों का है।
हम वादा करते हैं 24 तारीख को जब डोनाल्ड ट्रंप हिंदुस्तान आएंगे तो हम ये बताएंगे कि हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री और हिंदुस्तान की सरकार हिंदुस्तान को बांटने का काम कर रही है।
They morphed into violence and protests that spilled onto the streets. Guns, knives, Molotov cocktails, acid pouches, sticks, slings, they brought it all. Hundreds of vehicles were torched. Houses, shops, businesses, temples, schools, none were spared. And now, 10 years later, the warning signs are back in focus. Slogans glorifying division, campuses echoing the same old script, and accountability being mocked as oppression. End result? Open support for Tukde Tukde gang ringleaders Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid. Today we ask, is history knocking again at JNU's door? Because the faces may change, the years may pass, but the playbook appears disturbingly familiar.
Okay, it's a big problem. Nalin Kohli is a national spokesperson of the BJP. Shikha Swaraj, secretary of ABVP JNU, live from Delhi. Sushil Pandit, a political analyst, was live in 2016, live now. Sunny Dhiman, former leader, JNU Students' Union, was live then, live now. Backing students then, backing these protests and sloganeering now. Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, pro-Congress, and Anmol Pawar of the Aam Aadmi Party. I'd like to start with Nalin Kohli. Nalin Kohli, it's a disturbing trend. We thought things had changed at JNU campus. Not really.
So, yes, it's a disturbing piece of news. It's a disturbing development. Does that mean the whole JNU is like that? Certainly not. I think the very fact that you have an ABVP supporter and member on your panel would be able to tell you that there are enough sane people and not these kind of mindsets there. Now, it's easy for someone, and as a practicing lawyer, I would like to make that clear. It's easy for someone to say, this is my freedom of expression and speech guaranteed by the Constitution under Article 19. However, there is also the question of what about the nation? There's also the question about what about fundamental duties? Let's take the bail case of Sharjeel Imam being rejected or Umar Khalid being rejected. This is the Supreme Court of India, which is a creation of the Constitution. It's the highest constitutional court in the land. And a judgment that has come, which is very recent, given bail to 5 people. Looking at the seriousness of what were the utterances of Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, they've decided that no, they don't deserve bail. Because this was ideology getting into the zone of what can be clearly called terrorist thinking, extremist thinking, calling for the dismemberment of India, that is Bharat. Bharat tere tukde honge, chicken neck, we will hold it up there, leading to violence which hurt for Indian citizens and led to the death of Indian citizens, led to the destruction of properties belonging to citizens. Some people say we are disappointed with the Supreme Court. Disappointed about what? About the rule of law? Should there not be disappointment against the people who perpetrated violence, which is Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid? Should there not be anger and rage against them? And now this set of students are saying that we are going to call for digging the grave of the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, and the Home Minister of India, Amit Shah ji. The larger question is, if you want to be a grave digger, then why don't you go and join a cemetery? Do some productive work? आप वहां जाकर कब्र खोदिए, कम से कम इंसानियत के लिए कुछ काम तो करेंगे. यहाँ बैठ के ये डायलॉग करके और कहकर ये हमारा अधिकार है. How is that serving the nation? How is it serving their academic pursuit? And how standing with a terrorist ideology is serving humanity? So I would say there's something seriously wrong with these students who have come, these citizens who seem to be misguided, from which milieu they are coming and who's brainwashing them. And certainly, whether it is the administration, whether it is the agencies, they must get deeper. Are these extremist views going to result in any action? Would it put to risk any other Indian citizen? Would it put to risk any Indian property? Would it lead to an attack or a terrorist or harboring a terrorist in the future? These are serious questions. These are just not debates of Article 19, freedom of expression and speech. And if anyone says that this is Article 19, freedom of expression and speech, then I would say they should go back and study the Constitution, because there are reasonable restrictions and they should also see the fundamental duties.
That's very academic, Nalin, I would say. You know, the university campus is supposed to be academic, not the primetime debate, you know. And it's vice versa, unfortunately. Let me take this to Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit, you were there in the debate in 2016. I was there on the ground in JNU, Niranjan, covering the protests and the aftermath from the campus. Sushil Pandit, you know, there is a history to JNU in the recent past, in the last 2 decades, and it's not specific to the present government. It's really unfortunate and highly condemnable that the Prime Minister and the Union Home Minister have become the kind of target that they became of the slogans that we heard last evening. But the fact of the matter is, Sushil Pandit, that back in 2010 or 2011, if I am correct, when an encounter had happened in Chhattisgarh which led to the loss of 76 CRPF Jawans, there was a celebratory event that was held at the same JNU campus. So there is a problem in the DNA, in the immediate past perhaps at least, which goes beyond whether it's a Modi government in power or a Manmohan Singh government in power. The problem is that there is something to do with the campus that needs to be tackled, handled and, you know, managed.
You're absolutely right, Abhishek. The problem is in the campus and faculty itself, because students come and go. That is a transitionary wave of students that come every few years. Till such time you have a faculty that sows this hatred and venom in their heads, you will continue to get installment after installment of such people who will shout these slogans. Now, what are these? What is
who are they?
Messaging?
Who are they? Apart from being faculty,
kind of
who are they? What are they?
What is the? I must tell you. Now, there are 2 distinct ideologies. One is that power comes out of a barrel of gun, very clearly a Maoist Naxal ideology, and another is तेरे नाम पे तलवार उठाई किसने, ज़ेरे खंजर भी तेरा पैगाम सुनाया हमने. This is what Allama Iqbal says about Islam and its spread. Now both these ideologies, these are campus jihadis and campus Naxals. And you have organizations like ISA, the other radical organizations, who continue to indoctrinate all fresh students and create a cadre out of them who shout these slogans, who mouth these slogans successive years. We get to know about it in 2016 when they say, Afzal hum sharminda hai, tere qatil zinda hai. You heard about this celebration of Sukma killings of 75 CRPF personnel, and you hear it now in 2026. So generation after generation, when you have Nivedita Menons of the world in the faculty, and you have ISA-like organizations on the campus, you will continue to have this. Again, 15 years later, we will hear the same thing.
Yeah. No, I get a sense.
More of the same thing year after year. We are not changing anything in JNU.
Exactly. I wanted to make that point actually, because I get a feeling, Abhishek, that somewhere these people are getting more emboldened. I want to bring in Sunny Dhiman. Sunny Dhiman is on the show. He was live many years ago. I remember in one of those debates, if I'm not wrong, it was 10th of February 2016. 9th is when the slogans were raised, when they said, Bharat Tere Tukde Honge. All of those videos were captured on camera, right? 9th was when it happened. 10th, Sunny Dhiman was, Umar Khalid was live. First, when Arnab questioned him, right? And look what happened to Umar Khalid. Umar Khalid was later let off. Then in 2020 planned the riots, right? And they're calling it regime change now, that they were plotting a regime change. Nothing has changed. Sunny Dhiman, would you just call them innocent protesters / students again? Cultural, he called it. In fact, Umar Khalid has used the term cultural slogans. Yes.
Yeah, first of all, you are factually incorrect. In February 2016, I was not in JNU, I was in my field work. And
I didn't say you joined in 2016. I said Umar Khalid
in
joined in
studio,
2016.
Yes, you referred me. So anyway, I was live on TV when I burned the effigy of Prime Minister along with his minion on 11th of October 2016 on the day of Dashera and raised the similar slogans. You know, Modi teri kabar khudegi JNU ki dharti par, and even that day, even today, and I am with my words, but my intention even that day, even today, and I believe this is the same intention for the other JNU students. We don't hate a person to kill a person. We actually love the Prime Minister. We don't hate him. We don't want to kill him. But yes, we want him to be Takht Nashi. We don't find him to be a good administrator, because for me, the good administration is like Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who had one eye, and with that one eye, he used to see people equally, and he used to deliver justice equally. These students were assembled there, not because they were there to support Shahjil Imam and Umar Khalid, because yesterday, or today is the day, 6th of January 2020, when the ABVP goon from outside came inside the campus and ransacked the campus, beaten the JNU president, Aishi Ghosh, uska sar fat gaya tha, if you remember, Komal Sharma, if you remember, that was the day, that was the occasion these students were assembled there. And of course, there might be some, some students, they might have differences. I'm not here to defend Umar Khalid and Shahjil Imam. They were in campus and they were my ideological opponent all the time. But today I believe that there has been an injustice to them, because suppose if I do a crime with my one hand, that one hand should be in jail and other hand should go outside. That should not go like that. Because if Umar Khalid and others, they were involved in conspiracy, but at the same time, Kapil Mishra, there has been evidences that he was talking in front of DCP that we are waiting here till Trump is in Delhi. After that, we will take law in our hand. So the same laws applies to everyone. Everyone. The question is not about the bail given to Umar Khalid or not. The question is about the standards which should be applied on bail investigation.
Are you then questioning the Supreme Court, the topmost court of the country, Sunny Dhiman? I hope you are aware that then you are questioning the Supreme Court's wisdom.
I'm not questioning the wisdom on the bail, but I'm questioning the law, the process of law, that there is not even a FIR against Kapil Mishra, whereas the Justice Muralidharan of Delhi High Court, they have instructed Delhi police to file FIR, but he was transferred very next day. Until today, there is not even a single FIR against him, and he is the minister in Delhi government of BJP. So, you know what, I believe that 53 people died. Innocent people died in Delhi, and they are still waiting for justice. Whether they were Hindus or Muslims, they are waiting to justice to be delivered. Where is the justice? The trial has not begun in the case of Omar and
where is the justice? One minute. Excuse me. What am I hearing? No, what am I hearing? 1 minute. What am I hearing?
What about the other hand?
No, 1 minute. Let's get everyone on. Nalin Kohli is raising his hand. No, I'm finding this amazing. Abhishek, first he says, in fact, I forgot the context of Sunny Dhiman. I apologize to Sunny Dhiman. Sunny Dhiman was the same so-called student on campus of JNU who raised Modi Teri Kabar Khudegi in October 2016. I'm so sorry, I forgot about that. I should have mentioned that.
Yes.
And he's defending that today.
Yes.
He's defending that today. And he's also asking, where is the justice? I'm asking you, where is the justice? Where is the justice?
We wish him
1 minute, where is the justice for the 53 people killed in 2020 riots? I want to go across Nalin Kohli. I'm getting in Nalin Kohli. He's asking, where is the justice? 53 people were killed.
I am amazed. I am amazed, and you will pardon me for using such a strong word, at the deranged logic that has been just put across on your channel, that when you say, Modi teri kabar khudegi, we wish you well. It is like going to somebody's house, like going to Sunny Deman's house, having dinner there and saying, हम जहन्नुम में आए और आपने हमें जहर खिलाया और हम आपके I mean, I have never heard a more deranged logic on national television in my life. So I must compliment Mr.
When
Dhiman.
I say down, when I say Murdabad, in that
sense, no, I haven't finished, Mr. Dhiman. I heard you very patiently. No, I heard you very patiently, Mr. Dhiman. Don't please hear him. Sunny, hear him. In my case, you have said your thing. This is not how a debate.
Sunny, hear him, please, Sunny.
I'm sorry. I heard you clearly. And now that
Sunny Dhiman, hear him out.
The minute he started off by saying, I have a logic to give.
It is common sense.
No, I must finish my point. So I'm using my word for the last time, deranged logic. I have never heard a deranged logic like this.
I need to respond.
Modi tere kabar khodenge is wishing the Prime Minister of India well. Amazing. Second, let me take the same deranged logic to another level.
Do you know what is the meaning of
Aisha Ghosh, or whoever got injured in that so-called goons attack, if she had died on that day, God forbid, and I say God forbid, would you have then on that day, if she was from the ABVP...
Murdabad is a different thing. Wishing and plotting...
Movement, would you have said...
Plotting a conspiracy to kill is a different thing.
What kind of logic is this?
And raising democratic slogans...
Sunny, let him, Sunny.
Slogans which
come there to
the politics.
Sunny, please don't speak over each other. Sunny Dhiman, 1 minute, please.
And I think they are making a very strong case that public funding must stop for people like these. These are not people that you and I, who earn every day and work hard from morning to night, should be paying our taxes. For them to come up with this kind of logic to say कि हम तुम्हारी कबर खोदेंगे is meaning well.
The people in power are accountable to us. And we are the citizen of India, and we are seeking accountability.
Yes, who's us?
The people
who say कि कबर खोदेंगे.
Doing the
who's
justice.
us?
Because
who
Home Minister dictates Delhi Police. Home Minister dictates Delhi Police.
How dare you say that they are responsible to you? You are running down the citizen of India who
I was one of the
persons of not doing this kind of thing. Who votes for hope? Who votes for a better life? Who hopes for food? Who hopes for performance? You run them down and say that people are going to be in government.
That there has not
this deranged logic.
There has not been even a single FIR being launched against those who are involved in Indore.
Leave that FIR. Why should there not be an FIR on you? I'm asking, why should there not be an FIR on all?
Why there is not an FIR on Kapil Mishra?
Let's start about
why there is no FIR on Kapil Mishra? Why there is no FIR on the
don't teach us Article 14 in the negative. Why should there not be an FIR even on you for saying that this is a deranged logic? That when I say kabar khodenge, it means I wish the Prime Minister well.
Slogans.
Who are you to demand an FIR? Leave that to the police.
1 minute.
Who am I to demand an FIR? Leave that.
Sunny, what kind of a... No. I want to
ask of you.
No, he's right in asking the logic. No, he's right. Please explain. 1 minute, 1 second.
Him to be in Prime Minister's
office. 1 minute. Hello. Sunny, this is not JNU campus. 1 second. This is not JNU campus. By the way, because of people like you...
ये पढ़ाई के बच्चे
No, 1 minute. Because of people... I'll tell you what. JNU...
तुम्हारी कबर खोदेंगे पढ़ाई के लिए आए थे यूनिवर्सिटी में और आप यहाँ बैठ के ज्ञान दे रहे हो उसका.
No, I'll tell you. The saddest part...
कुछ बनते हैं आप. ये लॉजिक है कि कबर खोदेंगे और उसका
No, 1 second.
बड़ा सोच रहे हैं.
आप मुझे बताएं.
No, I'll tell you because of... Sunny.
के हाथों में चूड़ियां पहन रखी है. डू यू रिमेंबर? डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह के बारे में बोलते थे हाथों में चूड़ियां पहन रखी है. वो रेंज लॉजिक.
हाथों में चूड़ियां और कबर खोदेंगे में कुछ फर्क आपको दिखता है?
ये
हाथों में चूड़ियां पहनना एक मुहावरा है.
जब आप
हाथों में चूड़ी पहनना
सोनिया गांधी
इक्विवेलेंट की
जब आप
तेरी कबर खोदेंगे,
जर्सी गायब
अमित शाह तेरी कबर खोदेंगे, भारत तब आप करेंगे.
काम नहीं करता.
ओके, आई थिंक देखो ये आपकी पढ़ाई रही है. ये आपके माता पिता ने सिखाया आपको. यही आपके सो कॉल्ड प्रोफेसर्स ने सिखाया आपको.
I'll tell you what happened, Sunny Dhiman.
Below the belt क्या होता है?
Abhishek, I want to bring in a fact. Abhishek, as Abhishek comes in.
They have to pull back.
No, they have to pull back. Pull back.
Yeah. Sunny has, okay, Nalin, Sunny has pulled back. Sunny, you see, aspiring to be a political leader is absolutely legit. And you are within your right to carry political activism on a university campus. It happens around the world. But when you actually join politics, there's something called parliamentary language. That's what everyone follows or should follow ideally. Now, if you don't learn it on campus, you will not carry it into your political career. So, in that sense. And you know, you have diverted the debate. We are discussing the defense of Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam against the Supreme Court's order and verdict that we have seen happening at the JNU campus yesterday. That's something you shouldn't be defending at all. Let me take this to Pankaj Sharma. Pankaj Sharma, hold on. Sunny Dhiman, you know, from 2008 to 2012, for 5 years, there was no JNU student union election for 5 years. Which party was in power at the center at that time? Even in Delhi, Congress party was in power. Your NSUI, your Congress was in power. Let me take this to Pankaj Sharma. Pankaj Sharma, how in hell can you defend the kind of event, the kind of sloganeering that has happened on JNU campus last night? They are defending Sharjeel Imam, Umar Khalid. They are going against the wisdom of the Supreme Court verdict. They are abusing the Prime Minister, threatening Prime Minister of the country and the Home Minister of the country with death. Pankaj Sharma.
Two issues here. The first is whether people have the right to publicly express disagreement with any court's decision. The second is whether during a protest, slogans that appear malicious should be banned. So these are two issues. The answer to the first question is that every citizen has the right to publicly express disagreement with a court decision. The Supreme Court itself has stated in several cases that the judiciary is not immune from fair criticism. Now coming to the question of whether slogans like Modi, Shah ki kabr khudegi, JNU ki dharti par, these slogans should have been raised or not. My clear view is that they should not have been. Even if these slogans were not personally targeted, even if they were, symbolic and ideological verbal attacks on the government's style of functioning rather than aimed at a specific individual, I still believe such indecent slogans should not be raised. But to say that JNU has become a den of anti-national elements is a bit of an overreach. It is truly, if it is, true, the government should take action against anti-national elements. If the language of the slogans falls into the category of such a serious crime, then send everyone who raised them to jail. If the entire JNU needs to be shut down, shut it down.
No, not entire JNU. Not entire JNU.
One second.
Named after Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yeah.
Not entire JNU. This needs to be clarified. Nobody is accusing the entire institution, the entire campus, all the faculty and students, everyone of the kind of debate that we are having about a section which unfortunately has political control of the student union on campus, holding these kind of events off and on, and with the kind of regularity which is a little discomforting. Pankaj Sharma, the fact of the matter is that all the officers of the Indian Army, all the officers of the Indian Air Force, all the officers of the Indian Navy, you know what? All those passing out from the National Defense Academy in Pune, Khadakwasla, they all have a degree from the JNU. So it just can't be that the entire institution is painted with a broad brush of urban Naxalism. But unfortunately, as I mentioned, Pankaj Sharma, that there is a section. And remember, I was saying it was your party's government, the Congress government in 2008-2012 period for 5 years did not let the student body elections to be held. And the reason was because perhaps even in the Congress government, somebody understood that this has consequences for the social fabric of the country. This has consequences for the national security and the kind of mindset that these students carry into the society from the campus. For God's sake, that's why the student union elections were banned when the Congress was in power in that period. Pankaj Sharma.
The government has every right to regulate the affairs of the JNU. But then the government should also explain why, on one hand, those who commit extremely brutal acts like rape are granted furlough every 4 to 6 months. Get bail and courts give them all kinds of concessions. While on the other hand, people are kept in jail for five years without trial merely for the crime of raising slogans. is it not natural for those who see such contradictions in the justice system to feel frustrated and agitated? That is also an issue.
These are not normal people, first of all. They were regime change operators. We saw what happened in Delhi.
And call them regime change operators.
No, I'll tell you. Sir, I don't want to go back to how it was.
Prima facie, the Supreme Court has agreed with that.
Supreme Court has agreed to that. I mean,
prima facie, the Supreme Court has said there is some merit in the argument.
Yeah, obviously, it all happened. And if not for COVID, they would still be sitting there, and God knows what else would have happened there. I see Nalin Kohli raising his hand, but Nalin Kohli, two speakers haven't spoken. If I can just bring them in, quick comments from both of them, and I'm coming to you. Anmol Pawar. At one point of time, Anmol Pawar's party refused to give nod to prosecute these people. Abhishek, you remember that? His party, the Aam Aadmi Party, refused to give nod to prosecute Kanhaiya Kumar. At one point of time, they batted for Umar Khalid and they continue to bat. Yeah, at one point of time, you refused to give nod. Yes, Anmol? 2020 is when 2020 you under pressure. 2020 under pressure you had to, but in 2019 you defended them. 2019 you refused to give nod.
Niranjan ji, the sovereignty, integrity and national security of the nation is paramount. Anyone who talks about disintegration of the country, they must be hanged, they must be put behind bars. Jail mein dalo, phansi de do. And yesterday also, it is extremely unfortunate the kind of grave-digging slogans that were raised in JNU. But the most concerning part is that we have the Bharatiya Janata Party in the center for last 11 years. We have BJP in the state, Home Ministry is under their control, Delhi Police is under their control, intelligence agencies are under their control, investigative agencies are under their control. Despite that, such incidents keep happening. And these kind of anti-national elements, they are flourishing. Some anti-national elements raise slogans in favor of Maoist Hidma at the India Gate. Terrorist attack takes place near the Red Fort. Pulwama incidents happen. Pahalgam incidents happen under the nose of this government. Yet, there's no fear of law. There's no arrest. There's no FIR. There's no punishment. There's no trial. Cases are lingering on for years and years. What's happening? And this government is so busy, this government acts with lightning fast speed when it comes to arresting Sonam Wangchuk and Mehraj Malik, who raise voice for the people of this country. This BJP government's national security doctrine is कि जो लोग देश विरोधी नारे लगाएं उनके खिलाफ तो मामले चलते रहे सालों साल, उन्हें कभी भी जो है सजा ना हो, लेकिन जो लोग जनता के अधिकार की बात करें उन्हें आप एक सेकंड में जेल के पीछे डाल दो. Is this how a country runs? This is a failure of BJP government, and this BJP government itself is responsible for that, because in 2016 those masked anti-national elements have still not been arrested after 10 years. In 2020 we saw that how ABVP goon Komal Sharma vandalized the hostel. We have CCTV footage, we have video evidence. Despite that, has the police arrested them? And I have a question for BJP spokesperson. BJP claims one question, 10 seconds. One question. I have a question for BJP spokesperson. The BJP claims, their leader claims that he can stop war between Russia and Ukraine. Then why can't you stop these incidents which are happening in national capital?
Shikha first, because she represents the ABVP. She has been, she's secretary of the ABVP JNU unit. Shikha, there is a direct charge coming against you. That you indulge in vandalism, and that has provoked these anti-nationals to take anti-national positions and to indulge in anti-national slogans and to carry out these kind of anti-national urban Naxal activities. That's the charge against you. You incited them to become anti-national.
I understood your question. Thank you for having me, first of all. And second, coming to the question, first of all, I would like to begin with why these incidents are happening. I think I am the only one in this panel who is currently in the campus, who understands the campus very well. It is not a normal thing, and it is not the first time that it has happened in the campus. But one thing I would like to remind, since it is not the first time, this atmosphere that we are seeing right now, from Sukma to Hidma, the whole trajectory right now in the country, where, we talk of ending Naxalism by 2046, 47, we have a specific date. Outside this campus, this communist cabal that exists over here, they have no existence. They are facing brutality outside. They are at the verge of extinction. So they know what are the slogans they need to raise. What are the slogans, be it grave digging, be it anti-state, be it anti-government. For some time, let us being an aware citizen or a student of the campus, you can question the government, you can question on policies and schemes, but there is a thin line of demarcation between being anti-government and anti-state. And when they cross that line, they are not very sure of themselves what they are doing. And this is the situation where these slogans come out. And this comes out very deliberately. These are not innocent things. These are not innocent sloganeering. And secondly, I would like to comment upon this language debate which was happening, that this is unparliamentary and these are very meta. Some of the leaders I heard, very seasoned politicians, they were saying it's metaphorical, it's not literal. My God, what are you saying? These are words. We are students in this campus. ये तो वही बात हो गई कि बच्चे हैं, गलतियां हो जाती हैं. What are you propagating? These students will be leading the country in the coming few years, and you are teaching them the language of blood and mayhem, which we saw in 2020 Delhi riots. You are teaching them to support someone or stand with someone who talks of cutting off chicken neck from India and a very separatist tendencies of cutting entire northeast from India. I disagree with Sharjil Imam.
You are talking to wrong person.
Ali's ideology. I disagree with communist cabals in this campus and their ideology, which their professors in academia, which have taught them over the years.
Sister,
this is my right. I will speak.
Sister, I would like to add one point. If you
No, Sunny Dhiman, if you are saying she's talking to the wrong person, can you as unequivocally as Shikha has condemn Sharjil Imam and Umar Khalid and call them anti-national as she believes they are?
This is my belief, and I accept. Then I accept.
She is owning up that those people are anti-nationals and cannot be defended in any manner. Can you also as unequivocally say that if you are saying that she is not targeting you or you are not standing with them?
And I have,
Wait,
sir, just
1, 2, 3. हर आदमी में होते हैं 10-20 आदमी. जब भी किसी को देखना तो कई बार
they will be.
The Sunny Dhiman you are talking to is the person who has filed complaint against
Court and the judiciary system.
Arey Baba, bolo na. Just say unequivocally that you are not here in any manner defending Sharjil Imam and Umar Khalid.
Sharjil Imam, and I was sitting next to your boss, Arnab Goswami, in that studio with that complaint that Delhi police was not accepting my complaint. When I went to Delhi police, Vasant Kunj State Police Station, they were waiting from a person from a BJP party to file a complaint and make it FIR so that BJP can claim that we are the nationalist party. So I condemn unequivocally the statements given by Sharjil Imam. There is no doubt. But at the same time, because I believe in the process of justice, and I see that right now there is an injustice because there is no trial against Sharjil Imam. I want the trial to be there. I want him to be convicted if he has done wrong, and I think he has done wrong. But at the same time, Kapil Mishra, knock knock, wakey wakey, Kapil Mishra is the same person who also said the similar kind of statement which were provocative in front of Delhi police.
Let Nalin handle that. Let Nalin answer. Let Nalin answer.
You're repeating yourself, so I'm getting in Nalin.
ABP person who
let Nalin Kohli come in.
Students
Sunny, hear him.
Pankaj ji,
do you remember how
whether it was first
Pankaj
ji or
Nalin
now
is
it
responding
is
to Pankaj.
Sunny Dhiman.
Today, the same day.
Pankaj, yes.
May I make my point? I've been listening to the debate very carefully, and whether it is Pankaj ji or Sunny Dhiman, both have said we want a fast trial. Trial goes on for years. I'm saying that because I'm in court every day. I have not met a guilty person in my life who says jaldi day-to-day trial karo. Delays are taken by those. Let tomorrow morning, if you believe so much in the innocence of Sharjil Imam and on this Omar and the others, stand up and say we want day-to-day trial and we will not seek an adjournment. अब मैं आपको guarantee दे रहा हूं, none of them will say that. Because they know that the trial will end up in their conviction, as it deserves to be. Which is what the Honorable Supreme Court has looked at. There is evidence against them. Clear evidence that you and I, as ordinary citizens, of course, I practice law, some of My colleagues who are watching on the
There is
show may not
WhatsApp
be lawyers,
chat,
but they
there
can
is
see.
WhatsApp chat, there is CCTV.
These are the people who
There is
seek
no-
daily adjournment so that they
no-
run away from it.
there is no
So how
trial.
can there
The
be a speedy
adjournment
trial?
was
Because at the
Mr.
moment,
Kohli,
if the trial does not give them the opportunities they want, then you'll say that the judge is biased. This is the problem. This is what this whole urban Naxal setup does. Number two. Point number two. 1 minute, please.
Sunny, don't speak
Please
over.
don't disturb me. I heard you very patiently.
Please don't speak over.
I've heard your deranged logic also कि कबर खोदना जो है that is equivalent to किसी का भलाई कहना. I've never heard that logic in my life. वो भी चुपचाप से मैंने सुन लिया. आपको बीच में टोका नहीं मैंने. लेकिन अब आप मैं जब बोलने लग गया और बोल दिया कि ये adjournment ना ले तो आप लोगों की हवा निकल गई है. बीच में बोलना शुरू कर दिया है क्योंकि आपको पता है कि जनता इस बात को देख रही होगी और समझ रही होगी कि हाँ कोई आदमी अगर निर्दोष है वो कहकर रोज सुनो मेरी बात को. कोई आदमी जब जानता है कि मैं दोषी हूँ तो कहेगा जी आज बहाने ये करो, आज मेरा वकील नहीं है, आज मुझे ये डॉक्यूमेंट करना है, कल मेरा ये हुआ, परसों उसका बीमारी था, मुझे ये डॉक्यूमेंट डाला नहीं, रोज आप डिले करेंगे.
साफ हवा में
होता है. अरे गला वाला
Sunny, what are you saying? It is not a JNU campus for you to chant slogans here. Hold on. Hello.
कुछ नहीं करते.
Hello, I have a second point to make.
Sloganeering is monkey shape.
Please
stop the sloganeering.
Please stop.
Sunny, please stop the
And
sloganeering.
this gentleman's verbal diarrhea, please stop.
Let's have a decent
So far, there has been no
Hear him,
sensible
have a
point
decent
that's coming.
debate.
Every time I'm making a point, he's interrupting it. I mean,
No, if
absolutely,
you-
there has to
if
be
you
some level
say
of
something
this.
deranged
I heard him
according
quietly.
to my
Did I not?
standards,
Sunny, just
even
hear him,
I
please.
disagree.
Now,
Once
let's
when
get
he was
Pankaj on the right side.
I held my hand up and said, I'd like to
on the right
respond.
side.
When I'm speaking, the man is disturbing me. Now I have another point to make. After having spoken on the trial, this point is correct. Because the only person who has been at JNU and has been there is who spoke before me, the learned lady from ABVP. She has raised a valid point, and I think it should be noted. Of course, now I understand, and probably the viewers understand, why this entire Naxal thinking fellows are saying कि मोदी तेरी कबर खो देंगे, अमित शाह तेरी कबर खो देंगे. Because actually, the strong action of the Modi government with the resolve of the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, has resulted in wiping out Naxalism in a large part of this country. All district after districts are being liberated out of this Naxal stronghold. तो इसीलिए ये लोग चाह रहे हैं, naturally, Naxalism को खत्म किया जा रहा है, Maoism को खत्म किया जा रहा है. Now let me come to the Aam Aadmi Party. तो कमाल के व्यक्ति हैं ये. इनके नेता ने तो कहा, हाँ मैं अराजक हूं, ध्वस्त कर दो, मैं अराजक हूं. So where does when the leader of a party says I am basically an anarchist, you expect from there any focus on law and order? Look at Punjab. Look at what happened yesterday. A man has been shot in his head in open daylight. Day after day, there is a collapse of law and order.
Delhi, you are living in Delhi, you are practicing in Delhi, day after day. Delhi,
I'm the one, don't now see again. I said, the minute I spoke about a logical thing about Punjab, they will start interrupting me. I heard his entire logic for all that.
The minute you lie, the minute you misled the viewers,
this is the problem
I
with these
exposed
people.
you.
They come with these minor points and
because the
scored a point.
citizen of Delhi
Where
are
is the logic to
witnessing
that?
this kind of collapse of law and
Punjab
order.
has become a haven of drugs. It has destroyed. आपकी सरकार ने हटाया क्यों नहीं?
आप में हिम्मत है ना तो चलो चलते हैं जनता के बीच में जूते मार के भगाएगी जूते मार के भाजपा वाले.
This is not the language to be used on prime time.
आप ये कहेंगे कि कानून व्यवस्था आपके राज में
किसको जूते मार के भगाया? अनमोल पवार, you know better. अनमोल पवार, if at all जनता ने किसको भगाया, जूते मारे के नहीं पता नहीं, but you know better. You know, let's not get into it.
Delhi police report states that 4 rapes are happening every day in Delhi. In the first quarter, from January till March, every day 4 rapes.
No, Anmol Pawar, don't digress from the conversation we were having.
Every day extortion is happening.
No, Anmol Pawar, do not digress from the conversation we are having.
But I'm not
it's a
here
more serious
to
conversation.
listen to his sermons. He's misleading the viewer.
No, I'm not giving sermons.
No, he can be decent and just hear him and then respond later. So you don't have to jump and like speak over each other, please, for God's sake. Should we take some... a lot of people listening to the 1 minute...
You know, you want to hear what the people think about
this,
these shenanigans at the JNU? As I again said, this is not about the entire campus and the entire university and the faculty and the students, just a section.
People are watching the debate and calling us in. You want to know what people think?
Abhishek ji.
Okay, 1 minute. Anmol,
Coming back to you.
Let's take a first viewer, Arif Das. Mr. Das, are you there? Mr. Das, are you there? From Lucknow.
Yeah, I'm here from Lucknow. Right.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
No, it is. I find it really very disturbing to see this kind of views expressed by all the people who are in the opposition. There is clear divide, but I don't know why our democracy has been made a mockery. It is the ultimate. I think it's the ultimate thing what we are observing here. It's very painful when we fail to address the truth that what is wrong is wrong. Why it should not happen? Why our opposition people, so-called the people who are opposed to the government, they are so blind about that one, even they are addressing the wrong to be right. They are trying to substantiate it to be right. What is this? Is this the country we are living in? Can they do the same thing? The fellow Mr. Diwan, I think, they want something.
Sunny Diman who said that Modi teri cover kudegi means we wish him well and then we want him to live longer.
It is Murdabad. If he doesn't, if people don't know
he will
about
try and
the
justify it further.
Hindustani,
Yeah, but you heard, no,
it is
Sunny, you heard, no? You want to know what people think about such stupid slogans? I have Manoj from Bhilai. Manoj ji, are you there? Manoj is our next viewer. Manoj, are you there? Manoj, yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. I have a question to all the panelists who are against Nalin Kohli. Yeah. My question is, there is one person who is non-Hindu, but the rest, those who are Hindus, how can they support this Tukde Tukde gang? I just worry, how can they do this? Is there anything wrong in their upbringing or what?
No, Hindu or non-Hindu is not the issue. You see, Hindu or non-Hindu is not the issue. Every patriotic Indian would be pained at this Tukde Tukde sloganeering that keeps happening off and on from JNU. Rajiv from Bengaluru. Rajiv.
I'm Rajiv Safra this side. In 1967, Naya Bharat Ki Khoj, Osho was asked what is the commonality between Islam and communism. And he says, I'm quoting it, quote unquote, he says, for one it is Kaaba, for others it is Kremlin. For one is it Quran, for others it is dark capital. One says he has got the exclusive proprietary agency of the God, others says there is no God.
Sir, I'll tell you.
The belief system of both of them is so deep-rooted, belief system, that they collude to God. They collude towards humanity.
No, sir, I think I'll just stop you there.
Not really.
I'll just stop you there because I don't think we should be, passing comments on any religion.
Not a good comparison,
communal hatred.
Not a good comparison. Not a good comparison. Yeah.
Should we go to Sushil Pandit? Sushil Pandit, you've been listening in. It's disturbing. In fact, there is no arrest made. Last we heard there is no FIR. I don't know whether an FIR has been filed, but it's not good. What's happening 10 years later?
Abhishek ji, they won't take any action. Don't
let them answer.
Because
I don't know why.
Let them answer.
Sushil Pandit, question for Sushil Pandit, Anmol, please.
Sushil Pandit first and then Nalin maybe. They have to answer.
ध्रुव सक्सेना, मोहम्मद सोहेल, तालिब हुसैन शाह, ये तो भाजपा के ही आतंकवादी हैं.
सुशील.
हाँ, और yes, thank you. And the person, the Tahir Hussain who led the riots and multiple stabs of Ankit Sharma and had stored on his rooftop soda water bottles. What about him? He was a worthy corporator of Aam Aadmi Party, right?
What about Kapil?
Now the point is, if we have to rescue, stop this.
Please don't speak over him.
What I have to say.
Against whom the Honorable Delhi High Court directed to register an FIR.
If we have to rescue JNU from becoming a Maoist madrasa, if we have to rescue JNU from becoming a Maoist madrasa, we will have to weed out the toxic campus Naxals and campus jihadis. Otherwise, it will be a same story continuing over and over again.
So obviously, they feel emboldened, right, Sushil? Obviously, they feel emboldened because they see the likes of Sharjeel Imam, Umar Khalid being, idolized by political parties, getting official backing. It's great advertisement because, you see, It's such a sad story of JNU, one of the world's finest universities, Abhishek, one of the world's finest universities. Because of a few rotten eggs, you have the funding also. I don't know whether it's linked, but the funding is cut almost 38%, I hear, in the year 2025.
You have to weed them out.
Yeah, but it's really sad what it's come down to. Nalin Kohli, but something emboldens them that such people are still on campus.
At some level, maybe Shikha and Nalin both have to say, at some level there is a failure, right? The stranglehold of the left unions on the body politic of student body, the student union elections. I think at some level, maybe the youth there is not attracted towards what Nalin and Shikha represent.
No, I think there's a different point. May I make a point, or is Shikha speaking first?
Okay, you can go first and then Shikha can. Whatever. Yeah.
I think I should answer this question because...
Okay, so I have a point to make. So basically, 2-3 things to make a point. I think the left front and the left parties entrenched themselves into JNU when it was formed. And I think their cadre-holding people, literally card-holding people of their cadre, were given jobs so that they could literally have a livelihood and they could make it a bastion of their leftist thinking, which is how those who understand what happened in the 60s and 70s understand it. That, of course, is changing because the left ideology is a shrunk ideology, almost a disappeared ideology. And the violent part of it, which is the Naxalism, which is another form of terrorism, if you ask me. This nice word of Naxalism and Maoism and all, it's terrorism because ultimately you're talking about taking human life and violence. So, they are being wiped out. So it's a minority in that sense that's left there. So they are obviously fighting to somehow keep themselves relevant and alive. The second part to it is that how do you change it? Look, we are a democracy and you have to do it as per the rule of law. We are not an autocracy. We are not a sort of a country where you can take the might of the state and act against anybody with impunity. Just throw out somebody, throw somebody in jail. It's not possible. That is what is the change which is happening slowly. Shikha ji would be able to tell you more because she's been part of the ABVP.
Yeah, okay. Let Shikha answer why the ABVP fails so consistently to make an impact in JNU.
I have a disagreement here.
So, can I come in for 10 seconds?
Shikha, yeah, quickly.
It's not about how we consistently fail to make an impact. Let me tell you, there are 17 organizations in this campus, from ISA, from SFI, from BDSU to PSA, and different and collective and all together coming in this election. They have realized this very well. If they fight alone elections, they will lose, which happened last year. Our joint secretary won in campus, and rest other seats, very few margins, some 200, some 80, some 70, some 35 like this. At present, in the present demography of this campus states that students coming from different backgrounds have realized that this is not an option for them anymore. We are the largest political party, or the student party over here, which I would say, which holds a command, which have a command over the students. But when it comes to elections, when you have 17 parties coming together to save their existence inside and outside the campus, you know what happens. This is about electoral or strategic, I would say, calculations in elections. But in campus, when we are debating this on this news channel, I would say, few years back, after 2016, I saw various news channels, some JNU in news. Even I was not in campus, I came in 2019. When I saw in news and it wasn't so much controversy. When at present, when I see outside the campus, when at Sabarmati Dhaba, a lot of sloganeering happened yesterday night, in front of my hostel, there were only 20 people. I remind you, I reiterate it again and again, there were just 20 people, the core cadets of ISA and SFI, who were chanting these slogans against, like grave digging and Naxalwad and Maovad, or iski cover khudegi, uski cover khudegi. They will come on to this debate and media bites, and they will cry in the name of constitution, start apni baat karenge jai samvidhan se, and they are the same people who will say that, you know what, they will also chant the slogan ki Afzal hum sharminda hai, tere qatil zinda hai. Afzal ko फांसी किसने दी थी? शिखा स्वराज ने दी थी, एबीवीपी ने दी थी, मोदी शाह ने दी थी, बीजेपी ने दी थी, नहीं सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दी थी, which is a part of the Constitution.
I must say.
Constitution, आप उसको नहीं मानते. तो रही
one second. Listen, no, Sunny Diman. Hello. Sunny, just calm down. No, what are you saying? Agenda setting. I'll tell you what, Sunny Diman.
No, of course, agenda setting. I mean, what's wrong with agenda setting against anti-nationals?
No, 1 minute. No, Sunny, I'll tell you what. Sunny, you had your chance, but you blew it. I'll tell you what. This is the show. 1 minute. This is the show on which Umar Khalid and your entire gang has been exposed day after day, night after night.
This is radio.
So be careful when you say that, huh? Be careful.
And Shikha just exposed you again by giving the arithmetic of the JNU SU politics, where every other student body comes together to make sure that the right wing
he said something like Radio Ravanda. I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? Because
we gave him so much of opportunity to speak.
No, it's not about the opportunity. He just said, I mean, what kind of a stupid logic is that? He just said, Modi teri kabar khudegi means we wish you well, Prime Minister. I mean, what kind of a stupid logic is that? And then anyway, I don't want to talk about it.
That's the bottom line is, friends, and we have always maintained it since 2016, that student politics, yes, maybe it was banned during the Congress regime, not this in the present government, but acts of urban Naxalism or that ideology, which is smack of anti-national propaganda of any kind, we brook no indulgence whatsoever.
Arnab will be back on the debate tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDA चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDA चटनी पुदीना मसाला।